Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Football Ramble. Good to have you with us. Another Champions League semi-final first leg has been concluded, and it ended Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 1 in the Metropolitano in Madrid. Not a classic, but there was drama. Vish, 1-1 it finished. What did you make of the game?
It wasn't as different a game to last night as I feared it would be.
Yeah.
I feel like we spoke about it before we went live, about how there were actually quite a few incidents. Bit of chicanery, you're going to get that.
Yes.
Straight
with the comparisons to last night.
Yeah, no, because I think like what people enjoyed of last night was it felt like an antidote to basically this game that everyone fit. This Alien versus Predator of a Champions League semi-final.
Is this why?
And it wasn't that though, was it?
Is this why they planned it so the second leg of PSV Bayern would be after this one?
Yeah, you know, some people say like, actually, whenever I go to a restaurant, I have dessert first. That was dessert.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, 1-1 ultimately is not a bad result for Arsenal, considering at times, not all the time, but at times they were just slightly second best, if you see what I mean. I don't think one team was particularly on top than the other. But if you think about it, I mean, Adam Lookman alone had some chances, did he not, in the game?
Yeah.
Arsenal obviously went 1-0 up with the Victor Gyökeres penalty. I mean, that was the first sort of big incident of the game, I suppose. People asking already on the comments, among some other questions, including this from Will Nor Linson, is Martin Keown's notepad big enough? I mean, I don't know. But a lot of
Martin Keown's notepad sounds like the name of a horse.
It does a little bit, yeah. That can jump quite hard, just a bit higher than Ruud van Nistelrooy's horse.
Also a horse.
Yes, exactly, yeah. See, it all makes sense in the end. A lot of people asking about the penalties, though. Let's talk about the first one. Victor Gyökeres. He was fouled by David Hanko.
Yeah.
That's not how they pronounce it.
No, he was fouled by old Hanko Breadcrumbs. And the thing about Atletico and playing them at their place is the sense of you're not sure how much control they have over, the laws, but also the universe around them.
True.
And there was a point where Yanko was arguing that, look, I only ran into the back of him. I thought, that's fair, you did only run into the back of him.
Yes.
That's why it's not a penalty. Continue on your merry way.
Is it your...
I mean, it was definitely a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was really, it was very clumsy.
You said definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
It was a little bit on the soft side.
It was only a little bit on the soft side because there was no real attempt to go... There was no attempt to go for the ball. There was no way in which he was trying to... he wasn't trying to, go around him and thus ended up, clattering into a leg or a knee or whatever. But he did run into the back of him.
Yeah. I ultimately thought it was a penalty. But when people say it was a bit soft, well, but by definition, you're trying to interpret whether something's a foul or not.
Yeah.
So it can be soft, but it can still be a penalty.
Yeah, like getting bumped at a traffic light when it goes red it's not a crash, but it is an accident.
Fouls are like Brexit. They can be soft.
Go on.
They can be hard.
Yes.
I'd argue they should never be committed.
No.
You see?
Was this an oven-ready penalty? That's what you're saying?
I think I was.
Right.
I think yeah. You got to expect that from Atletico Madrid. Gyökeres knew there was going to be contact. He went down.
I don't think he did.
Do you not think?
I generally, the way he takes the ball,
right?
There is a real, in a very sweet way, there's a real I'm in front of goal. I can be a hero.
Yeah.
They might not hate me now.
Nah, but he did get the goal ultimately.
He did get the goal, yeah.
It was all about the power on the penalty.
Yeah. I don't know what Oblak was doing, but I think a lot of that is because, as you say, the power. It would have taken his head off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because it ends up, because he essentially doesn't get his hands, in place.
Well, he wasn't at full stretch.
Well, no, because I think he was anticipating, it was almost like a cold spring. He was going to get into that position, but the penalty was so fast that
True.
It just wasn't quick enough.
It was all about the power.
It was. It nailed it. You guessed right. We were watching it live, and you guessed which way he was going to go.
Yes, I did.
As well.
So I played my part as well.
Yeah, you scored it really.
Well, in a way, it is my first Champions League goal. But it was 1-0. There was another penalty in the game. as well. We have a comment here from Wilf Breadbin, who says, "Oh no, sorry, Wilf, I've jumped ahead there. Sorry, I was
bigger than Wilf Breadbin.
I've jumped ahead, Wilf. We'll get to your Breadbin. We'll get to you in a minute. Sorry, we've had another number of people questioning the second penalty, the handball. For me, Vish, like the one last night in Paris, neither of those handballs should be penalties. But you knew. I said, come on, Vish, that's not a penalty. And you went, it's not for me. But, you know, these pen pushers down at UEFA Hall, that's a penalty for them.
Seedy Europeans in their penalty boxes. Yeah, it was so... That's kind of what like. It's obviously not an Atleti thing. It might be a Champions League thing. It was just a bit naff. Generally, it's not the worst handball penalty decision I've seen given. I think Manchester United won at PSG. Do you remember that? To win it.
Or when Rashford scored.
Yeah. Well, Dalot basically hits.
I can't remember the incident.
It's kind of like...
How have you managed to get Man United in here?
Well, because it's the nonsense of it. Because his hand's so high that, like, even if his hands weren't there, it would have cleared the stadium.
Right.
But because, but this is obviously slightly different. But, I mean, they didn't show another replay of it after the penalty was, given and scored.
Yeah.
But it hit his knee, into his... It hit Ben White's knee into his hand.
Yeah, but I think what they're saying is it's ultimately an unnatural position.
It was,
I mean, the only sympathy I would have if you sort of say, well, it hit a body part. If a defender did Peter Schmeichel-esque sort of starfish spread eagle kind of vibe, and the ball hit up on the arm, you would go, well, it hit me pec first. You'd be like, no.
I also think White was trying to bring his arm back into a natural position.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, I mean, but that's what that's why he ends up punting into it. At what point?
Yeah.
Because there's not been enough admin in football anymore. We need to decide when an arm goes from. I'm going to put it slightly lower than I was planning on there.
Yeah. So
but when does an arm become? That's unnatural.
Yep.
So look at me. When does it become natural? Is it there?
No. Keep going.
Bit more.
A little bit.
There.
Now.
Right. Okay.
You see. It's got to be right down.
It doesn't feel very natural, but that's what you're saying to me there.
Well, Gabriel had a marvellous block, didn't he? I think it was the first half.
He did, yeah.
With Griezmann, who shot.
Yeah.
And it hit his arm, I believe. But his arm is, I mean, he would have had to have an amputation for it not to hit his arm. Like, it was really tucked around, so that's why that wasn't given.
What if your arm, from your elbow down, was like, Rob Green's finger?
Well,
what's that?
I think you have to declare that before the game.
Right, okay.
So the referees know it. They're going to go, we cleared that, I'm afraid.
Simeone's getting ideas. Right, if we break and reset the arms of several of these defenders. No, not just Simeone. Obviously, Arteta's thinking that as well.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Back to the comments here. We've got one from Jack Foot emoji. Hi, Marcus and Vish from New Zealand. Long-time listener. Have never got in touch before, though. Ha ha!
Yeah. It's a nice message. You wouldn't get that from an Aussie, would you?
You wouldn't get it from an Aussie.
Yeah.
You certainly wouldn't get it from an Aussie. Right then, where Wilf Breadbin, your question. Eze, foul or dive or not? Was what Breadbin.
I don't think it's I definitely don't think it's a dive.
Well,
I thought it was a foul.
Well, so I was surprised this wasn't. This was overturned. However, I'm going to have a bit of sympathy with the referee here, because again, I think nowadays you don't. It's not like it used to be back in the good old days where you would see the footage and you would make your opinion on what you've seen. Now we're saying, oh yeah, but I think the referee will give that. I don't think it's a penalty, but I've seen them give it, and that's how we kind of approach it. And actually, with that challenge on Eze, because there is contact and you can see it, I immediately thought, well, it's a penalty. He's not. That's a penalty. He's not going to overturn that. And then when you see it again, I thought, I don't think that
Eze oversold it.
Yeah, and I actually don't think there was enough contact to maybe stop Eze. And if that's the case, which I suspect it is, then I have to say it's very good refereeing. It's very bold refereeing. I sympathise with Ali McCoy's point on COCOMs. If it happens down the other end, I wonder if the referee, dares overturn it.
Objectively, I've sort of alluded to it at the start of the show. And obviously, like, they have home advantage and the noise and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's a hell of a thing he didn't even intimate it.
Yeah.
He was like, I know I shouldn't be saying this. So he basically tried to do it with a wink and a nod and just said it outright.
Yeah.
If that was at the other end, they
Well,
would have kept it. As a penalty.
And
And they all agreed with him.
Darren Fletcher on commentary said that Diego Simeone was edging closer to the monitor as the ref. No wonder the ref he did it very quickly. Mercifully, he made his decision pretty quickly.
What was he doing?
What do you think he was looking over? That's Diego Simeone. Does he still have Herman Burgos beside him? No, but it is still Simeone.
He is coming this way, though.
Yeah. Do you know
With a
what?
screwdriver.
I think everyone will be happy.
I don't
with
think he's good with electronics. I think that's for my neck.
I think both sides will be content with a 1-1 draw, won't they? It's just, so I was surprised the referee overturned it, but I can see why he did. Would be my answer to you, Mr. Breadbin.
Yeah.
You're not sure?
No, I'm not. But
This is live.
yeah, but I'm thinking in terms of like he's got to put so much on Eze's reaction to it
Okay.
that he doesn't. When he's re-refereeing it, he stops watching the foul and he starts watching the reaction, doesn't it?
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Okay. Joe B says, did Arteta get it right, considering the atmosphere, pressure, etc.? Did he get it right? I mean, it's a 1-1 draw. It's not terrible by any means. It's not that inspiring. Whether we reference it with the previous semi-final first leg that happened in Paris last night or not, I feel that's just a little bit churlish at the moment.
Yeah.
But enjoyable nonetheless. Okay, so feel free to keep on doing it. But in the context of just tonight and this semi-final, Arsenal have gone to a place which is tough to go. I know they beat Atleti handedly in the group phase, but lest we forget, Tottenham went through automatically in that group phase. So that's a big old liar. That league table does lie. Okay, we finally found one that does. But it's a 1-1 draw. Arsenal go back to the Emirates. Again, I agree with some of the comments about the game and the dynamic will be similar at the Emirates than it was tonight. Not a terrible result. Wasn't that inspiring, but Arsenal finished slightly stronger of the two.
Yeah. So what, did Arteta get it right? Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, was he going to try anything else, I suppose, would be
No, I
the
suppose
follow-up question.
I'm trying to. They weren't really overrun at any point. I know there were opportunities when they were hitting transition, but that's going to happen. There were a couple of openings through mistakes. I think also a lot of Arsenal's wastefulness in the ball in the first half was down to, individual error, not necessarily Arteta, how Arteta set the team up or whatever. Gyökeres probably his best half for Arsenal, certainly in a game of this size.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the ball a whole lot, but that
No,
was
but-
obvious.
but that's the point,
A
isn't
wonderful
it?
run
Yeah.
down the wing where he
Yeah.
squared, and Odegaard probably he should have hit it first time.
Yeah,
As you know, it's
Odegaard made the error there, yeah.
It's one of my pet hates in football. You have a shooting chance, you don't take it, and then the shooting chance doesn't present itself again.
Be grateful for the chance that's presented to you. Don't try and create something better.
I just want to
Doesn't
know
matter
it.
what
I just
exists.
want to know. I want to know if he'd have scored or not. And it's another one that goes and we'll never know.
Yeah, I suppose also it was on his right foot, wasn't it? So he tried to.
Yeah, I mean, he's only a professional footballer, isn't he?
Yeah. Idiot. That's why I got taken off for our brave Eze. But then on the Arteta thing, I thought the sub of Odegaard. I mean, it was early enough for Odegaard to be pissed off about it.
Yeah, he looked a bit
And I think
annoyed.
it worked quite nicely. Again, Eze made a few mistakes, but he made a couple of lovely. Well, he had a couple of lovely moments.
Yeah,
That little turn.
that was a nice turn.
That little turn kind of like inside his own silhouette and out through the middle.
Lolo75. I thought it said Cholo. I thought it was Diego Simeone himself. Lolo.
Can you imagine if you logged onto this?
That'd be brilliant.
Thought you were robbed, actually.
You'll get him. You'll get him in North London, Diego. Lolo75.
You can come in if you want.
Oh, he's here. Lolo75 says, Eze or Easy Dive. Also, what a shit game. Thanks for that. Appreciate that.
Brilliant.
If
you thought that was shit.
Yeah. This is where's it gone now? Where's the question? People asking. Here we are again from Wilf Bradbury. Who's happy at Arsenal or at Atleti?
Arsenal.
It's got to be Arsenal, hasn't it?
So.
You've got to be Arsenal, yeah.
I think Arsenal can look at the Spurs game and that Atletico Madrid played there for the second leg and think, well, we can do that to them.
They were 5-2 up though.
Yeah, but still. They didn't. Spurs got at them. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's have a not traditionally amazing away from.
Regardless of whether what the score was.
Yeah.
Do you think Simeone
That's a fair
would have
question.
accepted them? You know what, lads? Don't worry about this. It's only my reputation. Just have a little lie down if you want.
Look, he's going to set up as he sets up. He's going to play the game as he plays the game. Fine. But all right, okay. What about this from Cameron Ronald, who says, "What can PSG and Bayern learn from this game so that they don't concede 10 goals each and disappoint Clarence Seedorf again in the second leg?"
So I didn't see this. Was Seedorf upset?
Well, him and Rooney were having a go at the defending. And Seedorf said that you can set up differently at the back, of course. There's a number of ways of doing it, but you've got to be organised. And he was saying it just wasn't organised.
Oh, but it's, two of the best attacking sides in the world.
Well, you've got to play to your strengths, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, with Arsenal, Jim's made the point on the pod, and a number of people have made the observation as well, that Martinelli, Gyökeres and Madueke doesn't really click as a front three that much. I mean, I didn't think they were terrible tonight. And
But I
again,
suppose that importantly, they weren't meant to click, were they?
well,
to your point, Martinelli does a lot of defensive work, very sharp. It felt like they were basically playing 4-4-2.
yeah,
And the two up top were Madueke on one side and Gyökeres on the other.
yeah, true enough. I think. I mean, Red Dog has said same old Arsenal bottling again. I think that's harsh because again they drew. They're now would be slight favourites for the tie. I mean, it might not even be slight favourites. They might be firm favourites for the tie. But
I think that's also just something people write in comments anyway.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think. Well,
I don't think.
I think you're doing. I think you're doing the fine folk on the internet down by that with that comment.
Maybe I am actually.
But I forget the point I was going to make with Arsenal again. It's. I don't know why I'm looking for any kind of real inspiration from any Premier League team this season, quite frankly. But you want to see a little bit more something from Arsenal. And here we are again saying that. This is quite clearly how it's going to go. It's going to be a grind at the Emirates. It'll be a war of attrition.
Why do you think that it's going to be the same again at the Emirates?
Because
it's all square and it's basically just a single game in isolation.
Yeah, based on the abundance of evidence we've had on how that they,
Arsenal have been quite attacking in the Champions League, though. I appreciate it's not actually.
Did you watch the games against Sporting?
No, I didn't actually. Well, I certainly can't remember them. There's probably a good reason for that.
A solitary goal,
yeah,
which was a moment of quality.
Yeah,
but that's what I mean. When they play Sporting at home, it's go and beat them. Show your superiority.
Yeah,
Get this done early, and then you can take it easy.
Yeah, the game at home was that was a disgrace. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
disgrace.
Yeah, that was actually a disgrace. Yeah, because I had to sit through it.
Well, I mean, I got
nothing from it.
Our former colleague Jules Breach got a bit of jip, didn't she, from saying to Declan Rice, was it a frustrating evening? And he was like, no, it was a great time.
She got shit for that.
Yeah, she got it. She did. Yeah.
Does anyone want her address? You can just send stuff to her.
Well, apparently she found 20 yellow bags full of toilet rolls in the barrels of the stadium.
She brought them in.
Let them fly, boys.
That's what I found.
What do you think of that? Did you enjoy the toilet roll throwing tonight?
Well, it's TPing, isn't it? Which I didn't. I think it was on the show that I corrected that. I always thought TPing was when you threw it, it made the shape of a teepee.
As in
like a tent.
Yes, yeah,
like a tall tent.
Yeah, right.
You thought, but it's just the verb toilet papering.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until a few years ago.
It's amazing what you find out.
Yeah, but it's quite fun, isn't it? Like that's what it.
I was going
to say that's what it's for. It's technically not what it's for.
No, definitely not.
Clues in the name.
Have you ever hurled a toilet roll?
Yeah. Have you ever overhead kicked a toilet roll?
I've not done either of these
Very
things.
Good.
Why? Where and why? And what was the context?
At home and because I wanted to. What do you want?
It was lockdown, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't even lockdown.
Was it not?
No, it's just like because. The effect of the streaming effect.
Right.
Imagine if that's from your foot.
True.
From an overhead kick.
Yeah, no, you have captured my imagination. The only reason why I asked it was from lockdown. I remember trying to juggle with a toilet.
That was a trend, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a trend.
Yeah.
Which I assumed I started, but now
you've
burst my dirty little bubble.
You just thought give me something to kick up with.
Yeah, true. Clean pickle relish. Any chance for either of these teams in the final? Atleti or Arsenal, obviously.
Yeah, I suppose in the best way possible. You'd hope not. You'd rather an entertaining game. I feel like an entertaining game will be won by one of either Barcelona. One of either Bayern Munich or PSG.
So you would, but you would. Are you in the name of football? I
think if one of those teams wins the final, the game would have to go their way to such an extent that I don't think it'd be particularly entertaining.
Yes. Okay. Would you want PSG or Bayern to win the competition now? Is that the football purist in you?
I don't feel that strongly about either of them winning it.
Right.
I'm just saying as like having just thought of the final.
Yeah.
But I suppose like if I mean, Arsenal are going to only approach it one way. Atleti do at least have
Julian
the quality
Alvarez.
of Alvarez and.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, but that's why I think Arsenal are better off with Eze in the side.
yeah.
Because there's that spark. Because they're
Yeah.
not creating much.
So I was
Because
confused.
Atleti created more than them. I mean,
Yeah.
Lookman, the chances that he had. I mean, I know Ryan made some good saves and all, but that one particularly, he's got the goal at his mercy.
Yeah.
You have to give the keeper credit, but games like that where it's nip and tuck.
Yeah. I totally agree. As I was quite surprised that he didn't start until I remembered that obviously came off injured on the weekend.
Yes.
But yeah, it was brilliant when he came on the second half. I suppose
It's nice to see Saka as well. Again, I think maybe defenders just think the idea of Saka. There was a couple of moments where they were just a little bit more standoffish.
And then a couple of moments where it felt like the ball got stuck under his foot. And then it cleared him out a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, it was nice to see him. You don't want to turn this into an England show, do you? Well, sorry. I feel like it's my job on this show to stop you from turning it into an England show.
I haven't mentioned England, but I can if you want. I tell you what was nice, that was something we could all get behind, was seeing England flags in the Atleti end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might just because the colours correspond. They might have other reasons, but still.
Well, I hope they're not using it for that.
That flag belongs to us.
If they're going to use it for those kind of purposes, because you like the colour scheme,
Yeah.
use the Swiss one.
Well, one or two had Peru
Or Georgia.
flags.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
If
Our flag is not decoration.
well, I mean, it can be.
Yeah, well.
It looks nice on lampposts and
Bunting.
stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. You're right, it does actually, yeah.
And I would say this to all Atleti fans. Tom, put me on the camera now. I say this to all you Atleti fans who've got England flags. If you love it that much, stick them on the lampposts up in Madrid. All right? Show your pride in the flag.
Also, do send them back because we need them for the summer.
Dr. Toffner simply says, "Marry me, Marcus." Sorry, pal, I'm already taken. But if you can find a country where they don't worry about such laws and whatnot, then send me a plane ticket, is what I would say to that. Defenestration simply says, Jules, toilet paper breach.
Good. That is good. And that's her new nickname.
At least go with
Here comes old toilets.
Here comes bog roll breach. That's better, isn't it?
That is good. Alliteration.
And the same person who commented that, defenestration, said, saw a random Irish flag as well. Must be there to support Rice. Well played. Well played. Very good indeed.
That's so good.
That is very enjoyable. Some people still commenting about the penalty. Night of Universe said, Eze dived. Only deluded Arsenal fans will disagree.
Well, that's us.
Yeah. No, I.
Oh, so it's me.
Well, I'm not sure he made the most of it. I didn't. I again, sympathy with the referee there. I think. I was glad he actually didn't give the penalty. The referee. Because you think, okay, maybe, I want proper contact for a penalty. But then he did give the one with the handball, and you think, come on.
Yeah. Do you think if Arsenal hadn't had a penalty earlier, that he would have kept that? Again, it's a bit of speculation there.
Yeah, true enough. Benjamin Deutsch says, thoughts on Griezmann receiving man of the match at his last home Champions League game? I didn't think about that. Of course, he's off to Major League Soccer. Old Griezmann, he's 35 years old. He's still a magnificent player.
He is, yeah. He was a bit slack in the first half, or certainly the first half of the first half. Mm-hmm. But I like the idea that it's just, it's almost like a lifetime achievement man of the match award.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
It was slim pickings, I suppose you might say.
Who do you think you would have?
I mean, David Raya.
Yeah.
Because again, you could give it to a goalkeeper in such circumstances.
Yeah, a bit unbecoming, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's their job. It's what they're supposed to do.
Right.
You've got gloves. You can use your hands. Yeah, that would have been fine. Alvarez, do you think he was good? Or am I just conflating like some technical excellence with a better all-round game than he had? I feel like he had a couple of decent shots.
Yeah, I think Griezmann man of the match. Yeah,
I mean, the fact there was no real standout probably tells quite an accurate story of the game.
Yes. Looking ahead to the second leg next week, how do you feel that one will go?
I think it'll be more. I think it'll be more open.
I think Arsenal might just edge it.
Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
because Atleti, they're great at defending a lead, as we know. Going away from
you were saying actually while we were watching it that if they'd gone ahead at the end there, then
I think if Atletico had won 2-1,
yeah,
I honestly think that would probably been that. I couldn't see Arsenal. I mean, the best I think Arsenal could have hoped for would be maybe extra time penalties. I couldn't see Arsenal winning by 2 goals or more.
Yeah,
but this, Atleti, they are. We know how they set up. We're used to it over the years. I know this is a different team from like 10 years ago from Diego Simeone, but the style is not that dissimilar. They're not great at having to go and win a game. If you see when it's away from home, I'm sure someone will say, "Well, actually, hit and give me a load of examples." But that's you always think of them defending a lead, and therefore, I think that if they have to go and do that, then surely Arsenal it'll just give them a tiny bit more space. But with Arsenal at home and whatnot, I think Arsenal, the onus is on them, and I think if Saka with a little bit more, few more minutes in those legs. Maybe Eze into the side. I don't know what Havertz's injury situation is, whether they'll be back or not. I fancy Arsenal to edge it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think they could start quickly in the first half an hour. They're not going to take too many risks, but ultimately, it might follow the same pattern as this game did. In that, when Arsenal got the ball, in the small moments when they got the ball in the first half, they couldn't really do all that much with it, barring that Gyökeres run.
Yeah.
Flip that around, and Atleti have players who can make devastating use of very little of the ball, or with very little of the ball.
Yeah,
that may end up being the difference. So I'm probably just arguing against the point. I agree with you, but my gut says Arsenal will edge it.
Okay,
but they've basically got to put in close to a flawless defensive performance to do it. Because I do think they'll do the early attacking thing. I just don't necessarily. Believe that they'll be able to sustain that side, but they can defend solidly for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Before the game, Arsenal staff asked UEFA to measure the grass at the Metropolitano before the game. They believed it was beyond the legal limit, only to be told it was perfectly fine. Surely there's some mind games to be had at the Emirates next week.
Well, like they walk out and it's just reeds.
I was more thinking that as the teams are about to come out, the half that Atletico are going to be warming up in. You've got the mowers just they take their time to get off the pitch. And,
I think if you're asking people to measure grass,
right,
and they measure it and they're correct, everyone in the team gets a yellow card.
You do look utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, what in the whole monitor is that? That's just.
Oh dear. I think we're going to finish with this question from Pickle McDillionaire, who says, quite fittingly, if the sandwich guy at the Metropolitano, we saw the sandwich guy. We was doing his sandwiches at half-time,
In a really sad way, because they were 1-0 down, weren't
they? If he was a gooner, what would he make before half-time? What sandwiches would he be making for Arsenal if it was a good? I mean, would he go? I mean, I suppose Atletico's colours are the same, or there's a bit of blue in there, but red and white. I was thinking, would he just be doing ketchup and mayonnaise?
Just
Yummy.
that. Just that.
Yeah.
Well, there's that big trend of North London types, just like making sandwiches with crisps and.
Sandwiches with crisps are terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
No.
So it might be that, something like that. Whatever's trending.
Yeah.
Whatever the youngsters, whatever the youngsters like.
Surely there's a bit of avocado in there.
Yeah, fair.
Facon, not bacon, facon and avocado.
Yeah,
That's what he's having.
Yeah.
That's what he's having.
Meat, will there? There won't be any meat.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Cowards. I'll go on then, James. Manza, time for one more. He's following on from that. Do you think the sandwich guy has extra sandwiches in case a ball flies into them? I only saw 3, which would only just be enough for dinner.
I like the idea that Arteta gets a bit tetchy and jumping around. He ends up slipping and doing himself a mischief on a salami.
And what I love about that, James, is that you think we might have more insight to that than you.
Also. If they weren't asleep in the afternoon, he wouldn't be having his dinner so late. Eat before the game.
That's true. That is
That
absolutely
is
true.
like, so was
Yeah.
that not a little bit annoying in that I like it. I think it's quite sweet.
You think it's performative?
Very performative.
Yeah, very performative. Yeah,
Oh, I make my sandwiches at half time. I make them before the game.
yeah,
What a mess as well.
yeah. What?
You know how unhygienic football stadiums are?
I hope he is at the Emirates, and I hope they take it off him before the game. We'll be taking that wafer thin ham. Thank you very
You
much.
can't bring it in with you, but you're welcome to eat it all right now in front of us.
Yes, indeed. Well, there we are.
You old git.
Yeah. Well, there we are, everybody. It's late, and we need to go home and sleep because that's what people do where we're from. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us from the YouTube.
They're probably still up in space.
They'll be off to bed about 2 a.m. Aren't they? Partying all the time. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for all your comments. Sorry we couldn't get through every single comment. We did try though, and we love you all dearly. It's been a pleasure. What is today? Well, today's Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. Vish, are you in on Friday?
I won't be.
Coward. Thank you for joining us. 1-1. The tie's poised nicely. We will be back, as I say, very, very soon. And love to all. Love to all. Sleep well. And if you're in New Zealand, then, morning well.
Get out of bed. It's really, really late in New Zealand in the morning.
See you next time.